you said it was the suspects associated with a murder investigation? No. I gotcha. I gotcha. Thank you, Joe. Northbound now, going away from us. See, 6 o'clock. Hey, Joe. Quick question: was that murder today, or some other time? Unclear. Okay. Eastbound now, or 3 o'clock. Okay, 5 seconds. Oh, look at this, going into a driveway behind a tree. He's well, we're seeing now a very slow speed chase. The driver going right through a parking lot of a park. This is in the Wilmington area. The LAPD has been in pursuit now for about a half hour. You can see this very slow speed chase happening here on near Wilmington Avenue. Or Wilmington Street, Mike, 8 o'clock. We got large trees in the way there, but you can see the row of officers there in this very slow speed chase. Now, again, this started in the area of near Gardena, actually. I heard the Gardena Police Department talking about LAPD being in pursuit. This vehicle traveled down into the Carson area. Carson sheriffs were notified that the vehicle was driving on the wrong side of the road at times, and then he made his way down into the Wilmington area right now. That's where he is, as you see the vehicle being chased by multiple LAPD units. And look at this kid is tracking the vehicle. Oh no, he fell, and the skateboard almost went under one of the PD vehicles. They're not a good thing to do at all, but you can see 2 suspects in the vehicle, maybe a third one in the back. LAPD airship and myself, I saw maybe someone waving their arm out the window, possibly a third person in the vehicle. Again, this is a stolen vehicle that they're in pursuit of now. It was also in the area of a homicide. When the LAPD units got behind this vehicle, the driver or one of the passengers threw out a weapon of some sort. He is running stop signs or rolling through red lights for sure, Kathy, but a lot of people out here on the streets. They're seeing the activity. They're hearing the helicopters overhead. They're seeing the police in the area. So they're all coming out, obviously, on the Saturday afternoon to see what's going on. And as you saw, those kids just keeping pace with that suspect vehicle, very dangerous situation. So there's another stop sign he blew right through. So not too erratic, but certainly breaking the rules of the road and causing some they certainly could have called for the pit maneuver on those streets just about 5 minutes ago, where he was just going at maybe 20 miles an hour. Now he's picked up the pace here, so a little difficult to try to get those spike strips into place, as they would have had a better chance earlier, just maybe a few minutes ago. Now he's picking up speed and kind of leaving that area behind, going further north. Yeah, Adrian, stand by. I'm going to get you a street here. They'll get the people out on the streets here. I think this is Lagoon Street. Let me check real quick here. But yeah, Adrian, you know, he's definitely staying in the same area pretty much. This is Anaheim Street. He's going to make a right-hand turn on, and now he's going to go west from that street he was on from Lagoon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, close call there. That driver didn't know what to do as this guy pulls alongside of him, but then makes that quick right turn. This is away from Anaheim now, northbound, and staying in the same area. So it hasn't really moved back to where this pursuit started near the Gardena area. but staying close by. I see the passenger waving out to people, possibly flashing gang signs. Again, the gang units, gang officers initiated this pursuit with the LAPD Harbor Division gang units here. So again, weaving in and out of this neighborhood, and again, this is very dangerous because a lot of kids outside right now, as we saw earlier, a lot of kids on the sidewalks playing, and certainly they can get in the way. But look at this, a car's blocking, it looks like a limousine there, blocking the road. And that limousine is going to get kind of slow moving there, blocking the whole street. And he's going to pass him now. You can see that LAPD unit behind him. Not sure what that limo's about, maybe a wedding going on, but you can see officers there at every turn. They have this guy, you know, kind of boxed in as he goes through these streets. There's a lot of officers in their vehicles traveling in this area. So we'll see if he tries to get away from this area and move a bit faster, but he's certainly at higher rates of speeds than we did see him about 5 minutes ago. Oh, look at those kids. No, maybe a little taunting from the passenger, waving his hands out the window, but not a whole lot. They just kind of drive by the other officers that are blocking intersections. You know, the officers are giving these guys a lot of leeway, a lot of space to, you know, think about what they're doing and possibly, you know, give up and surrender. But that's not the case so far.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You know, you said we could see it too. Someone waving out of the passenger side window. I don't know if this is some sort of a joyride they're going on, people waving at them from the sidewalks, or if, like you said, you know, they could be looking for a place to possibly stop and bail. We see that so often.
We do. Many times they'll go to a neighborhood that they're familiar with, maybe close to their home, jump out and run and try to make it back to their house or a familiar house that they know of, jumping fences and running through neighborhoods, you know, not necessarily stopping in front of their house. This is a great opportunity for those officers to set up a spike strip, especially since this guy continues to return back to the streets that he was on previously.
And look at that. You saw one car, their car doors were open there. I wonder what that was all about.
Yeah, it looked like the driver was going to get out possibly. Look at the people taking selfies or pictures with their cell phones on the side of the street there, adults and children standing there. So a lot of activity down there on the road. The people are coming out of their homes going, what's going on? They're hearing the sirens. They're seeing the slow speed chase here. Here, let's push in and get a good look at the driver here as we are able to do that.
Yeah, it's turning into a parade practically.
It is, really. It's seriously, he's waving. He's maybe flashing a little gang sign there or something to some people. And now he's on I Street from Lagoon, turning westbound into a neighborhood.
So it's almost as if he was posing for those pictures. Those people had their phones pulled out and they were taking pictures, and it looked like at that point he rolled down the window. And again, yeah, whether he's flashing gang signs or just gesturing, that he's definitely hamming it up for the cameras there, Gil.
Exactly. There's a couple more people there, people shouting out to him. There's more on that side of the street on the right. Now he's going to go northbound Neptune from I Street. And you're right, Kathy and Adrian, this is basically a parade through Wilmington.
And you think sooner or later, I mean, like you had mentioned, Gil, if they continue with this course of behavior and they go this slow of a speed and they're kind of on the same streets over and over and over again, that sooner or later that spike strip's going to be deployed and they're going to be able to knock this vehicle out of commission, don't you think?
Yeah, certainly here. I mean, this is prime time to do that and set that up. And it's likely that the LAPD units are setting up for that. Especially now that he's, you know, basically 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, I wonder how much, it'd be interesting to ask how much they worry about how crowded it is. The fact that, look at this, you know, so many people are right there on the street. It's almost impossible to set up any kind of a spike strip or do a pit maneuver because it's dangerous for the people who are out there. Plus, so many cars there on the road.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. So the pit maneuver may not be an option right now because of the amount of people. And certainly, you know, so many people out here that, you know, with cellular phones, we don't know if the driver has or the passenger has a cell phone here. They can be told, you know, hey, there's a spike strip set up here. Don't go this way. So that's the unknown. But you can see how slow this is going now. LAPD airship cutting through the picture there. And the pursuit just continuing on.
And it looks like, okay, so yeah, you're looking at the bigger box on the right here for the folks at home. You're looking at video from earlier, some of the erratic driving that we saw these suspects engage in just a short time ago. And then on the left, you're looking at a live picture where you can see the suspect has slowed down, just passing that guy on that tricycle there, it looked like. And then again, you have the people out on the sidewalk taking pictures, and we've seen this now for the past few minutes or so, people out taking pictures, and you see the driver blowing through the stop sign right there, rolling the windows down, and again, apparently engaging the people who have come out to the sidewalk. Gil, can you give us an update on the location? We see this guy driving in circles now. Can you give us an idea of what road he might be on?
I'm trying to catch the street here. This might be McDonald, southbound McDonald, approaching Anaheim now.
Round and round he goes. 2 to 3 people in the car. That's what you were thinking? That's what we were told?
I thought I saw a third person in the back seat. It was a little hard to tell. Maybe 10 minutes ago, LAPD saw something very similar and mentioned that on the radios. But just a minute ago, I'm also hearing now that the suspect or the passenger may have thrown something out of the window there about a block or two back. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on with that. But look at that, LAPD right there blocking that intersection. White car trying to get out of the way. People all over the streets. People on bikes. You saw that man earlier on a 3-wheel bicycle. So a very dangerous situation for sure for the people that are out here on surface streets.
Yeah, and as long as it continues to be this sort of slow joyride, maybe they're content to just sort of follow it. But like you said, it does get dangerous at times because there are so many people. And look at that now. Look
at that. Oh, man. So fortunately, not a lot of speed on these major streets. But look at that. He started to turn down there. Officer there with a spike strip. So there's our spike strip right there. He turned down there. He spotted it and said, no way, I'm going to go south.
Yeah, and that's a problem a lot of times with the spike strips. They're dangerous for officers because they have to get out on the road, throw it out, and even though, they see the car coming, anything could happen. It's dangerous for them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now look at this. Higher speeds. He saw that spike strip, and he's getting serious about this now, going, maybe we should speed it up here. And now he's going south, Neptune at E Street, and now turning eastbound on it's possibly D Street.
Okay, and if you're just joining us now, we've been on the air 15 minutes covering this police pursuit here. This call came into LAPD Harbor Division, the gang unit, a while ago. And this is a pursuit of a stolen car, 2, possibly 3 people inside this Ford Mustang here.
3 o'clock.
And, we've seen this person driving erratically. At some points, it even looked like they were out on a joyride. But there's certainly nothing funny to joke about here because LAPD tells us that these people might be wanted in connection with a homicide and that the suspect potentially threw a gun out of the window at the start of this pursuit. Gil Levis has been joining us in News Chopper 4 overhead of the pursuit here, and we're having a bit of an issue with the signal. But again, Gil Levis has been monitoring this. Gil, can you give us an idea of the location? Are we still in the Wilmington area?
Still in Wilmington now, Avalon, northbound Avalon. And it's at a higher rate of speed. Now, this driver learned, hey, I'm going too slow, going down the same streets. So they're setting up spike strips. So now I'm going to change it up a little bit on the officers. I'm going to go down some major streets at higher rates of speed. Look at that. He just missed hitting that vehicle there. So, again, here he goes right into the turn pocket, and we'll see, expect a turn here. But, going back north, so it looks like he's setting up to go back towards that neighborhood where that spike strip was. This is Anaheim again. So he's repeating Anaheim Street here and going back towards where that spike strip was set up.
Yeah, and slowing down once again. He picked up some speed, looked a little bit more dangerous, but slowing down. And you have to wonder what they're going to try next. Now, I'm just amazed at how many people are out. We can't caution enough that it's very dangerous to be out there because we have seen this driver going the wrong direction. We've seen him picking up speed, weaving in and out of cars. Not a safe situation, but right there, LAPD right behind him.
Right behind him now. It's a little tough for me to tell on my monitor if they have their lights on the top of the car or not. They might still technically be on surveillance mode or tracking mode, I should say. But you're right, Kathy. Look at all the people out here. Just tons and tons of people out here watching what's going on. Look at that. That officer trying to spike strip right there. I don't know if that was successful or not. He looked like he tried to deploy it there, but it's unclear if he actually ran over those spikes or not. The officer pulling it back, probably out of safety for himself. But we'll see if those tires go flat as a result of that.
Yeah, he's going awfully slow. It's hard to tell from this vantage point. There he makes another turn.
Yeah, so now
really slowing down.
Yeah, northbound Lagoon again. So here we go on Lagoon from Anaheim. spike strip deployed, but not sure if it was successful. All the people out here in the parade watching this, and the airship overhead at the same time. Look at those kids at the bottom of the screen. There's an adult with 2 little children there. They have up the driveway there a little bit for protection, it looked like. But look at all the people out here just taking pictures and watching this guy go by multiple times.
Yeah, literally on every corner there you see a man in an orange shirt taking a photo.
Wow, it really is crazy, and certainly a dangerous situation. You know, certainly the people on the ground likely don't know what this is all about. You know, but certainly if this is linked, if the suspects are linked to that murder, then that kind of raises the game here. And certainly the fact that he threw out a weapon, that just in itself raises the stakes here in itself. So here, look at that, another spike strip right there. The officer pulled it away from the officer's vehicle. So don't know if he hit that one. It looked like he got around that one, but I'm going to look at that front wheel. It looks a little funny to me. I don't know that passenger side.
It does,
okay.
And that may have been the spike strip from before. I don't know, but that one it seemed like he was able to avoid. It didn't seem like he hit that, but
yeah, but there's one right there. So he definitely hit the rear one on that tire. So officers have this guy. Oh, look at this! Oh, now a woman coming out, a guy chasing after him. Not smart at all.
You can't be doing that, you know, because these guys, again, are wanted potentially for a homicide. As Gil had mentioned, police telling us they threw out at least one gun. We don't know if they're armed with other weapons right now, so you definitely don't want to approach that vehicle. It's just not a good idea. You don't know if they're armed.
You don't know if they're desperate?
Right, or desperate. They're certainly desperate because they keep running away from police. But you can see now, right, Gil, you can see the damage to the front, the driver's side tire as well, correct?
Oh, yes, definitely right there, Adrian. You can see that one's affected. It looks like that one's flat. The rear one here on the passenger side should go flat soon. The front one there on the passenger side looks funny to me as well. So 3 of the 4 tires at least appear to be flat or going flat.
So it's a matter of time, but we have seen these things go on and on and on until they absolutely positively have to stop, and then it can go into a standoff. So we don't know that this is going to end anytime soon. We hope so.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into a standoff. Certainly with all the people around here, that'll make a difficult situation for officers to deal with people in a vehicle that are basically barricading themselves in the vehicle with all the people around.
Yeah, and multiple people in that car. It makes it even more difficult for police officers who have been following this. You're watching the Channel 4 News at 5 o'clock. We just want to bring you up to date. If you're just joining us, we've been following this pursuit of a stolen vehicle suspect, but we also got word that it might be connected to a homicide and that a gun may have been dropped off at the start of the chase. It's been an erratic chase, slow at some times, fast at others. Now we're seeing him make another turn, but we're seeing him stay in the general area.
That's right, going through a gas station right now, jumping back onto, I believe this will be Anaheim Street.
And again, at those slow speeds, we believe that the vehicle has been damaged. This car may have hit multiple spike strips. We've seen officers deploying several of the spike strips, and it looks like he may have hit a couple.
All right, so you're looking at this police pursuit in the Wilmington area. This has been ongoing for quite some time now. Police pursuing a stolen vehicle that may also be wanted. The suspects inside may also be wanted for a homicide that happened. You can see the driver starting to pick up speed there, Gil.
This is not good with those flat tires. All the people out here, again, northbound Lagoon, this is where all the people are taking the pictures. There's the guy with the orange shirt, and he's going to continue on. So he's doing this little track going around and around the same streets here now with flat tires to boot. So, again, a difficult situation, a dangerous situation for all the people on the ground.
Certainly is, and we've seen a lot of people on the ground, not just people who are out on bicycles or out walking, but we're seeing crowds who are coming out, it would seem, to cheer them on, to take pictures. At one point, it almost looked like a parade with the people in the vehicle waving and flashing gang signs, and the other people coming out and even touching the vehicle. And we don't know if that was a family member trying to urge them to stop, or if it was just someone who, you know, saw it on TV or heard about it in the neighborhood and came out and did that. It's so dangerous.
It certainly is, Kathy. And now we saw him picked up speed there and trying to get a good look at the wheels on this, or the tires on this vehicle. But, you know, earlier on, it looked like some of them were flat, but now maybe not. I mean, look at that. It's hard for me to tell up here with my monitor, but maybe you have a better look at it. yeah, it's kind of a mystery. They looked like they were going flat earlier, so maybe not. Maybe those spike strips were not activated or not. It's a little tough for me to tell.
Yeah, maybe he didn't quite hit them. It is really hard to tell, and it happens so fast as he goes by. There we go again with, hanging out waving out the side of the window, the passenger window, and people on the streets.
Yeah, and this is now he's southbound Lagoon, so he's going back the other way through that whole row of people going back towards Anaheim Street. Now he's going to make what I imagine a right-hand turn here and loop back around. Let's see. Now he's going to go past Anaheim and then southbound. So continuing southbound Lagoon from Anaheim and now into a different stretch of road.
And we've actually seen this person stay in Wilmington now for quite some time, so they're definitely not venturing too far off, Gil. And you've covered a lot of these pursuits. Generally, folks tend to return to the areas that they're familiar with or perhaps even where they live, right, Gil?
They certainly do, and if these people, if the suspects in the vehicle know if this is their neighborhood, certainly they're going to come here and parade around like they're doing. We usually don't see this them drive into an area that they're not familiar with, likely because they could run into a dead end, they could run into a lot of different obstacles that they're not ready for. So certainly coming to a neighborhood that they know they're familiar with is going to be the prime thing for them to do, and certainly they can jump out at any time and possibly be hidden by friends or family.
Yeah, and we've seen them stop before and jump out and all run in different directions, but again, LAPD is on this. They're monitoring from above, and they have officers deployed in all locations, so they're usually able to get their suspects, even if they go on a foot chase and all go in different directions.
Absolutely. Now he's northbound Neptune, coming up to another stop sign here, going on the wrong side of the road. Let's see. Hopefully no one's there. And look at that.
There
he goes
it
right
is.
towards those people there. I don't know what that was about, but...
well, we saw the spike strip there. We saw a couple of officers deploy that spike strip. Don't know if he hit it. Yet again, it happened so fast, it's really hard to tell. Yeah,
good eye there. I didn't see that, so that explains that one. So... boy, another chance and possibly another missed chance. I'm going to come in tight now that he's going slow here, and we get a better look at those tires. And no, you look at that, those tires. It could be that they are run flat tires. The tires that can be punctured, but then you drive 50 miles on them. So that could be the case.
It could be the case because it sure looks like he did go over a couple of them. But here he goes. He's still continuing on, still in the same area, going round and round, cutting off a car right there, but at those slow speeds right now, and it just seems to have that feel still of a joyride and not necessarily looking for a place to bail yet.
Absolutely. The suspects in this vehicle have an audience, that's for sure. So they're gonna milk this as long as they can. The question is, how long is LAPD going to tolerate this? Are they going to try to bring it to an end with a pit maneuver, or are they just going to hope this guy runs out of gas?
Yeah, and when does it become too dangerous where they feel like, okay, this is a desperate situation. This person could have been armed. This could be a murder suspect. It's definitely a stolen car suspect. When is it too dangerous? Look at this. That's that same woman. It makes me think maybe she knows them.
Yes, definitely.
There's a desperation there in what she's doing.
I don't know if that's a mother or girlfriend, wife, you don't know. But certainly taking a risk like that, it's got to be someone that knows them quite well.
Yeah, it would seem. I mean, we're totally speculating, but it just has that feel of pleading with them to stop.
Exactly. So now he's eastbound here. I'll try to get you the street. This might be L Street now. I'm hearing now in my ear the LAPD just confirming that he did go over a spike strip, possibly just now. So we'll see if those tires are run flat tires or if they actually go flat. Certainly confirming that he just ran over one of the spike strips.
It's almost stopping right there, so the erratic driving continue. And again, if you're joining us, these are 2, possibly 3 suspects in a stolen vehicle, also wanted for a possible connection to a homicide. Harbor Division started pursuing this vehicle quite some time ago, and during the beginning of the pursuit, police telling us that it's possible that these folks in the car threw out a handgun from the vehicle, and ever since then we've seen this pursuit kind of wind around through the streets of Wilmington, kind of focusing on the area near Anaheim and Avalon as your major cross streets, but they seem to be driving in circles over and over and over again. Gil, can you tell us what's the latest right now? What are you seeing?
Westbound Anaheim again, going back towards Lagoon. Likely will turn back up north on Lagoon, but I'm hearing now just a second ago that they're confirming that one of the tires is going flat. So that spike strip was successful. That just happened maybe 30 seconds ago, a minute ago, and we'll see how that affects this driver.
Yeah, but he continues to go right now, wrong side of the road. Once again, there's the spike strip yet again.
There it is. The officer throwing it out there in front of him.
It almost looked like it was too far, though, there.
Yeah, maybe. Southbound Lagoon from Anaheim. So, again, on the repetitive streets here, southbound Lagoon from Anaheim.
That's the most spike strips I've seen in a good long time. There's another one.
There's another one.
And that went right over that, I think.
Yeah.
It looked like it, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many that's been, at least a half a dozen, right? But so far.
Between a half a dozen and a dozen. So, like we had talked about, Gil, it's possible that these suspects are on some run-flat tires, you know what I mean? But we've seen the vehicle stop here, so we'll see if they get out.
Coming to a stop, Mike. Drivers
coming looks like hands out, yep.
Oh, hands out, yep. This might be it. We got both passenger and driver with their hands out the window. Maybe they're saying enough's enough. Our tires are going flat. And this is, again, on Lagoon. It looks like maybe around G Street or E Street. Officers with their guns drawn. Here comes the doors opening. Both suspects, passenger and driver, coming out. Driver in the black, passenger in the white. And this parade is over.
Yeah, and they're usually going to have them turn their backs to the officers and then get down on their knees and eventually place their hands behind their backs, and then the officers will come up and handcuff them and take them into custody. So the officers now likely giving them instructions and directions. That one gentleman continuously keeps turning, which is going to make officers a little bit wary as they have their guns trained on them right now. But there they go now to the ground. Yeah,
it looks like they're following orders. We still have to wait to see if anyone is in the back seat. Doesn't appear so right now, but officers will check that out, and we will have a full wrap-up on all that happened today on the NBC4 News coming up at 6 o'clock.
Nightly News next.
All right, and now we'll see if anybody else exits the vehicle or not. Officers approaching the vehicle now on the passenger side, looking in the back. It looks like there isn't anybody else in the vehicle, so it's only the two. Code 4 in the vehicle. That means it's all clear. And now officers are going to approach the two suspects on the ground, take them into custody, and this pursuit ends in Wilmington after quite a slow-speed chase and multiple spike strip attempts, bringing the car to a stop. The driver and passenger saying, "That's it. We're going to give it up." And fortunately, this thing comes to a peaceful end. Passenger in custody, driver about to get in cuffs. And now look at this. Look at this. Officers pointing to some people possibly on the streets. Their guns drawn, pointed at these people. I don't know what's going on here. have their guns drawn. Look at that. They're possibly clearing the trunk. Okay, that's what's going on. They're trying to get these people here backed out of the way. They're in the line of fire, so that's not a good situation. They're going to pop the trunk and make sure their trunk is clear. Let me get it for you, Joe. All right, here's a look at the woman. Here's the woman that went out into the street. I believe that's her. So, Joe, if I don't know if you have ground units in the area or not, but this is just right at the traffic stop.